very obvious Corki is going to come out here. Normally what we see is paired this with a jungle pick, but instead, Hayes is going to get some priority. He's earned it, given his level and Lahenza's level of performance thus far in the tournament. I love that one too. So
is this KT drafting well? I'm not used to this. What's going on? Isn't this the summer season of 2024?
Which the reason why I'm triple checking is
what the Zyra jungle.
Oh,
there we go.
Lock it in.
I love it. Thank you very much, Canyon.
From KT, the only thing that I'd be a little worried about is Keen going for a counter pick, but Keen identifies that they have Zeri, they have Corki, they have Zyra. Additional front line is definitely going to be the big thing here. I love that
the one random one, you know, just got a little bit confused. This is the first Zyra jungle that we've had. And I think that Canyon as well has had quite a few of the random jungle debuts. They're definitely pretty cool. I think the other one's been Spirit and Pino.
Yeah, still stands out to me as the guy that was like, you know what, Nico is a
So still got his Krugs to go, whereas the Gromp is about to die here.
About 3 minutes. Yep. There you go.
Doesn't even get impatient, as immediately Deft has to use his cleanse. Canyon is from killing these camps into a great flash to get himself out of the way of the Zenith blade, but still has to use the flash and the cleanse immediately. As Canyon rotates over, and he is not done yet. They are putting on all of the pressure that they can find. Not going to quite find those grasping roots there, as Canyon will be slowed down. As
how good a pick that is off meta can be.
Oh dear, there's the flash, grasping roots. Deft able to walk out of it, but he still has to walk in the wrong direction, and first blood goes to Paze, as we can see. And it's because, like you say again, as we're going to have to hold that thought for a moment, flash out from BeryL, gets himself under the turret, but can he keep himself alive is the question, as Paze in a bit of trouble. They're not able to actually finish it off just yet, but they only invest.
The pressure here, because I do think that BDD is doing great when it comes to, keeping up in CS. Also, Chovy going tier, actually interesting, because we've seen a lot of Triforce builds. We haven't seen Manamune in a while. Obviously used to be the go-to item on Corki because he was a Pope champion.
Yep.
I haven't seen that as much recently. As they did spot, they know that Kyoshik's there.
Yeah, and Keen is going to get... oh no, not going to get stunned up. He's Cassante. The plan's coming down as Keen going in. There's the all out onto Perfect, who does press the Grandmaster's might, but I don't know whether it's necessarily going to work. He's trying to wait, trying to get out. And Keen, he's all out, but he's not going to be able to catch up. And that is not going to be any sort of solo kill. Both flashes now down as Canyon. BDD. He is going to be able to make it somewhere out of this. Still, may not necessarily be dying, as the arrow is going to sail by majestically, but doesn't really do too much there, as Paze was already celebrating the release of a sequel to Jet Set Radio, which is going to be coming out in the future. Very exciting stuff. Gets over that wall. That is a flash forward, but it doesn't quite find it there, as Deft is going to cleanse. Still
falling over, and then the plate ended up.
When I was learning to ride a bike, I got hit by a parked car. There's an ulti from BDD. Chovy gonna be able to flash out of there. Still has to invest it. Eventually, it's all right. Deft gonna have to give up this turret. Absolutely. As Kyoshik rotating around, you can see Lahenz. He really wanted to find that Zenith blade, but doesn't get an opportunity just yet. As Roterald is going to fall down. Keen getting kited. That is a decent encore onto 3. Perfect into the backline. Finds his counter-strike on everyone. Strangle Thorns is there defensively, but BDD finds the ulti at KT. They managed to manufacture a team fight, and it has not looked better. Outside of that part there where Keen manages to kill Perfect. Chovy trying to go 1v4. That ain't gonna work. And Deft is gonna kill his ex-teammate, KT. They needed that.
Knocks them down. As we take another look, it's BeryL with the flash ult. Then the summoners being forced here by Perfect mean that once BDD gets onto the backline, there is no one to stop him. And even with the ultimate from Canyon, everyone on KT still gets to make their way over. Yeah, Perfect ends up dying, but that was a much-needed gold influx. That alone not going to be enough. They're going to need more of those, but at least KT. Again, looking for a play on him here.
Kyoshik is still going to throw out the ulti, but isn't able to catch him in the Valkyrie there.
And they have 2 item spikes. Hit on a lot of the carries. They have Helia.
They do. BeryL doesn't have very much health anymore. Certainly feels a little bit better, as BDD going to teleport his way in. Keen just being that front line as they set up the soul point.
Perfect.
I think that KT wants to find this angle. Once again, it is that flank that Perfect has set up for himself. Gen.G gonna get spotted as the Scryer's Bloom comes in. Extendo Beam onto BeryL. He is pretty squishy. They will start off this dragon once again. There's the flash forward, flash out from BeryL though as Paze immediately cleanses the Glacial Prison. And Depp feeling pretty safe at this point in time. Finds the arrow onto Canyon. There's the knock up, but the Strangle Thorns has gone down. It's Perfect that gets Paze out of the fight though, and there is the kill onto Canyon that he finally finds. This time though, Paze is still alive, and Keen just slices him up and gets out of there. Depp wanting to get a bit of damage back as there's the counter strike from Perfect. The arrows are raining through though, and Perfect just wanting to find a Paze, getting kited at Depp. Finds the 1v1 at the end. It's a teleport to bring Keen back in though. And I don't know whether Deft wants to go for that particular one.
Because this one looks done and dusted. A lot of the poke comes through. And the engage is good, but not remotely as good as it was before. BeryL, even though he ends up getting caught by Lahen's Xenoblade here, goes so deep that the rest of Gen.G can't realistically follow. The very early cleanse out on Paze as well. And this is where you might get a little bit worried. I think that this time Canyon gets way more value out of his ultimate, forces Deft back. BDD doesn't actually get on top of Paze, and Canyon dies. But here you're like, okay, this is donezo. But Gen.G crucially overstepped. They don't have to go in here. Keen is back in.
Okay.
And Keen is about to TP back in.
This is this is the time in the Matrix where they're like, he's beginning to believe. Because now finally, they're about to, you know, get closed in on in a fight, and they just say, we win these.
Oh.
And they did, as BeryL very excited about the situation. As once again, Perfect on a flank angle. Gen.G full information. Pyoshik getting down low. Deft trying to find these volleys as Perfect gets into that backline. Another Stranglethorn's used on just the Jax. But it may work out here as it's a decent knockback. They take down the top laner, and Keen is absorbing so much BDD. He finds both carries in the backline, and Paze is wiped out. This time, though, they managed to get Deft, and I think that Gen.G have enough damage left available, and Pyoshik and BeryL will not be able to do it. Pyoshik will at least have the last laugh as he's the one that decides his fate. But BeryL is walking the wrong direction. And Lahen's is just going to let him go. They don't want to waste their time because they just want to take this Baron.
Here we see the problem for KT. Even though Perfect, man, I'm betting KT is very happy that that guy is back.
Oh,
Finds a great flank. BDD gets the carries. The problem for KT is that Gen.G, you might look at this and go, they have 3 very strong carries. But the reality is they have 4. Because Keen on his Cassante. And I think you start to see Gen.G adapt as well. In that, I feel like they're a lot more aware of the threat of that ultimate, in that they don't just pile up behind us.
Well, there it is! BDD finds all of them with that ulti. They do manage to at least get the kill on the Yone, and I think maybe the wallets are a bit too heavy, because look at that, the double from the grave for Canyon. And you just, because you can't see the health bar, and you're like, oh, surely he's about to die, so you just use all your damage abilities, and unfortunately it's just not enough.
Yeah, and Chovy is still just topping the damage charts.
Yeah. And I feel like that's a...
I keep hoping for KT to find an even better angle. I just don't know if it's there.
Well, Solarflare is going to slow down Deft, as now they do find an encore. We'll see whether that's it. It's just not. BeryL explodes like a balloon, and at least King gets knocked up, but he's just not taking damage. He dives in, gets the all out onto Pyoshik, flash out from Deft, but his health bar is just too low, and Chovy is gonna push Perfect out of there. They keep everyone alive. And Rengar's cool item thing is now gone, so this doesn't even really work that well. The same way that it used to anyway. Is okay, Keen just being that brick wall. This Baron is just falling down lower and lower. They do a bit of damage here to Keen to start this one up, and the Baron is now going to lose interest in the
Look
fight.
at the base! Look at the base!
The Winions are getting the work done here, but KT, we know that they are committed to finding a team fight. Perfect gets himself over. Lahen's was waiting for him, as now Chovy, he's going to get stunned up. Paze is going to fall down, and Perfect goes golden, avoids the Stranglethorns. The team fight's beautiful. We're trying to ignore the fact that the base is just getting torn to shreds anyway. There's the 1-for-1 in the end, but it's not really a 1-for-1 because Gen.G just needs to keep the busy. BDD He Blake doesn't manage to get Chovy, and Chovy once again doesn't have to flash. It's a double kill for Canyon, and Def is the last man standing. Frushot gonna try and slow him down, but we can see those really large red markers, and here we are now. Back into the base as the minions have just spawned, but there are supers here, and this is over. That's the ace for Gen.G. And KT, they found a couple of fights. That was really cool, but there was just nothing they could do in the end.
볼만하다. 이러면 다시 볼만하다.
묶었어. 들어가도 될 것 같아.
아 이거 애쉬 도플 애쉬 도플.
그런 생각해. 나 이거 끝까지 줄게.
그래 그래. 얘네 딜 못하고.
오케이.
이거 세라핀.
괜찮은데? 가비. 암흑시에서 이거 나왔어. 너 자꾸 어디 가서 하나? 괜찮아?
애쉬 많이 빠르다.
나 애쉬 아 내가 더 빨라. 내가 더 빨라.
형 애쉬가 더 빠른데?
내가 더 빨라. 내가 더 빨라. 아니 내가 원딜템이 너무 사기야. 너무 빨라.
연계를 너무 많이 당해. 다음엔 안 당해.
연기?
수환이
누가 연기? 수환이 오데스를 했네?
수환이 내가 다 봤어.
박재공룡이야 이 사람. 동화도 있어 이 사람.